Welcome back, Goblin Chefs. It's APGAINS. Obviously, this account is no longer free to play. We are going for Elrond, but I do have two free to play accounts that are a couple levels lower. And of course, as in Galaxy of Heroes, I have a focus group, which mostly Patreon members, but some subscribers who've been around for a while. Essentially, the purpose of that is to test all of the different farming avenues and paths to make sure that we can kind of spread our wings as wide as possible and figure out what's working and what's not working. And so we've gotten some good information that I kind of want to relay to you here as far as farming is concerned, because these types of games are all like, you don't need brain cells to be good at these games. You just need to have long-term strategy, vision, planning, and farming and stuff like that. And that's kind of just what I've always specialized in, because yeah, I know the kits and I'm good at the PvP and stuff like that in Galaxy of Heroes in this game, but like, realistically speaking, as long as you're farming the right stuff, you can beat people who are better at the game than you, and that's totally fine. So what we've been noticing across multiple accounts, and if you want to join this focus group and stuff like that, you can join the Patreon and talk to me about it in the Patreon exclusive Discord if you're interested in kind of participating in that. But what we've been noticing is, obviously, and this is going to be free to play perspective, even though the account that we're looking at right now has $120 lifetime spending for the R1 event, basically. What we're noticing is that Lightside is drastically outperforming Darkside in the free to play metas, especially in the earlier shards. Obviously, I'm in the Shard of Death, so there's pain and suffering and money everywhere I look. Look how juicy it is. There's pain and suffering and death everywhere I look. But in the earlier and more free-to-play friendly shards, the Rohan team is definitely, this is including Gaz Ironhide, of course, the number one plug-and-play character, so keep farming him up, is overperforming against Isengard and stuff like that. And that's not to say that Isengard is not good in the current meta, but what we're talking about in this game is, as a free-to-play player, you need to not worry about today's meta. You always need to be thinking about metas that haven't happened yet, right? Because you'll never be able to keep up with people spending money. But if you want an opportunity, if you want an invitation to the ball with the whales, if you want an opportunity to punch them in the gut, you have to be planning for metas that exist in the future. Obviously, Elrond is going to be the new meta. It's going to be the first team where synergy kind of takes over gear levels and stuff like that. And then we have the Nazgul meta after that. Keep farming up Isengard to the point where you can unlock Roble. That's totally fine. But put your resources for the light side. Continue to put them into your arena team, into your Rohan, stuff like that. But start hoarding those resources. Start farming, the Rohan to the acceptable levels: 5 stars, gear 5, level 40, ability level 2 or 3, depending on what you want. And just prepare. Because even if you're not going to be able to get, say, the 2 Haradrim characters that are marquees, if you're not able to get them to, whatever stars, because they're not going to be free-to-play farmable, obviously you're not going to be able to take them to 4 or 5 stars. What you can do is take advantage of their great synergy. And you might be saying, oh, APGAINS, even though they got great synergy, my Rohan team's better, my Isengard team's better, why would I want this? Well, realistically, these games are about having many teams with many synergies and counters and all that stuff. This is the only time in the game's history will be about having one strong team. The arena meta, especially in Galaxy of Heroes, lasted a little bit too long, but there's going to be other game modes. There's going to be inter-guild PvP where you're going to need multiple teams. There'll be raids that are coming soon where you're going to need multiple teams to get rewards. You want to have multiple teams. The Haradrim team with their data mine kits are going to be fantastic. Sharing passives, big damage, good speed, control, stuff like that is going to be great. They're not going to be your best team, obviously, but they're going to provide you a team that's going to get you, once they're free-to-play farmable, maybe a month or two after the marquees are over, access to the Witch King, which will be another team. You can do the Nazgul tank marquee, and you can have kind of all of the Nazgul at 3 stars, because they're all going to be marquee characters, I believe, and it'll be fine. You'll have 2 Darkside teams there. You'll probably have your Isengard team. You'll have your Rohan team. You've probably been farming up elves, so 6 months after Elrond's release, he'll come back around again. You'll be able to pick up Elrond. And at this point, you're going to have like 4 or 5 teams. But if you want to catch the Haradrim, if you want to catch, the Nazgul and be prepared for that when it happens, you realistically need to pick a light side or a dark side. Like, you're doing one of 2 things. You're hoarding for Elrond and farming for Elrond, or you're hoarding for Nazgul and you're farming for Nazgul, right? If you're spending money, like this account will, but my other 2 free-to-play accounts won't, obviously. And then we talked about all of my people who, I got a guy who's going straight into Mordor spending. I got a guy who's going straight into Isengard not spending. I got a Mordor guy who's not spending. I got Rohan people out the ass. Like we'll get to the bottom of what's the best. We'll test. We'll do all that shit. But what looks to be the most beneficial thing right now is kind of what this account is doing, minus the elves, right? Rohan's geared, Gaz is geared, Haradrim are being grinded, elves are being grinded. Like, I got Elro here to 5 stars without spending money. I'm going to get Namiri to 5 stars without spending money. I'm going to get Jack to 5 stars without spending money. The only thing that I spent money on so far is Arwen. So if you take her and leave her at 3 stars, right, it's the same concept. Do the same thing with Eldan. Eladan. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Do the same thing with Eldan. Just imagine she's 3 stars, he's 3 stars. There's no Elrond. But then 2 months later, when they're on a node, you farm those up to 5 stars. 6 months after Elrond's happened, so come back. You can pick them up then. But in the meantime, you farmed your Rohan team. You've got your elves in order. You farmed your Isengard to get to Roble node. You're preparing for Nazgul. You're grinding those shadow crystals and stuff like that. You're farming gear. You're progressing through your campaigns. You're doing all sorts of good stuff. You're climbing an arena, obviously. And you're setting yourself up for that when the raids drop, you can get better rewards because you have more teams. When inter-guild PvP or inter-player PvP drops, you can get more rewards because you're going to be in a better position. Please, hoard dark side, farm light side. I promise it's going to be the best place to go. And subscribe for just get 28,000 subscriber June, where we just try to get 28,000 subscribers. All right, as always, whoa, sorry, I had a root beer, so I'm burping. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.